You ever get that feeling that people don't like you at work? That's what we're getting into in this video. Thank you for checking out my channel, Leadership with Mike. On this channel, I help managers become leaders, and I do that with no nonsense sense, if that makes sense. So, why do you think people don't like you? Because that's what you're on this video for. You're wondering if maybe there's something that you're doing? Guaranteed? Yeah. Let's get into 5 reasons that people might not like you. 5 plus a bonus, of course. Reason number 1 people don't like you. You do the humble brag. What's that, you ask? Well, the humble brag is, it's like the guy that, he has like a self-depreciating kind of, I have to eat this stuff. He's talking about what he's eating for lunch. Only to bring attention to the guy because he's fit and he's got a 6-pack. Bravo. And it's not that I hate that you're in shape. It's not that I hate that I ain't there. It's the way people go about it. They go and they depreciate themselves. They have a self-depreciating manner where they talk down about it just so that they can talk about how fantastic this is and how great. Oh yeah, I just had to bring the old car. And it's like a 69 Camaro. So you want to talk about your car. It's not that you want to talk about the old car. You want to talk about your classic muscle car. I get that. Let's talk about it. But don't go around doing the humble brag where you're pretending that you don't want to talk about it. Okay? Reason number 2 people might not like you at work. When they're talking to you, you pull out your phone and you start texting away or you start reading an email. Buddy, if my conversation's not important, carry on. You can't focus on 2 things at once. And when I'm talking to you, I, foolishly enough, am thinking that what I have to say is important. And because you're there listening, I assume you may feel the same way. But when you whip out the phone and you start reading a text or scrolling through Facebook, just come up with a reason to end the conversation. Because now, if this is like a regular thing, clearly what I have to say or who I am in the organization compared to you is not enough. So yeah, I don't like you when everything else seems to be more important than the conversation I'm having with you. And if you do that to more than one person, because listen, habits, these phones, they bring out the worst and the best in people. But one of the worst things that happens is that you're in a conversation and whoever you're talking to is just scrolling through Facebook. But those people on Facebook aren't with you. You're at dinner. You're with your friends. Why are you on Facebook? Why are you on your phone trying to see if there's anybody more important that you should be talking to? So yeah, I don't like you because you do that. Fair? Not fair? Don't care. Reason number 3 that people don't like you is you're a name dropper. Listen, you want? Sometimes people have a hard time meshing with groups. And I get that because I hate joining new groups myself. But when the conversation comes to you and you're like, oh yeah, I went golfing with so-and-so happens to be the CEO of the company, you're name dropping. You're trying to make yourself feel more important and you think that other people will look at you as more important. No. You're name dropping. You're trying to be in the cool club. People will start to not like you because you do stuff like that. Now, all of these things individually, periodically, is that going to make people not like you? No, of course not. But when you do a couple of them and it's constant, yeah, people are going to be like, yeah, that guy's a jerk. Don't pay him no attention. I know. It's a tough world. But if you want to be liked, let's stop doing these things. Reason number 4 people might not like you is you gossip. It may seem like it's a good idea when you're at the water cooler, when you're enjoying your coffee, I heard this thing about this person. It's never a good idea. And if you have somebody that wants to gossip to you, as a leader especially, stop it dead in its tracks. You want no part of that. Here's the thing when somebody starts gossiping. When I'm there, I now have to wonder, what do you say about me when I'm not around? If you're saying this about so and so, and you're sharing those secrets because you heard from a friend of a friend of a friend that this is what they're going on and this is what's happening in their home life, the hell are you saying about me? Immediately, red flags go off in my head. I don't like you. Now, it may not be a death sentence, but I'm holding that. I'm like, this guy talks a little bit too much. I'm going to have to just hold off. I'm going to reserve judgment a little bit longer. Reason number 5 that people just might not like you: you're too friendly, too fast. Have you ever been in a work environment and they hire a new guy, and all of a sudden this new guy feels like they're your best friend? Not that there's anything wrong with being friendly, but it's way, whoa, like I just met you. I don't know if I like you. We're not sharing these kinds of details about my personal life, my family life, what I'm interested in. Yes, small talk is one thing, but there's an icky feeling you get when somebody's coming on too strong, too fast. Look inside. Are you that person? Like when you meet somebody, are you just all over them and let's be best friends and let's hang out forever? And whoa, buddy, slow it down. This is one of the reasons that people may not like you. Again, all of these things individually, periodically, won't end it. But if it's a constant, if that's who you are, like you're always full on when you meet new people, like you are my best friend forever, it could be the reason that you don't have many friends. Just putting it out there. I'm sure you're a nice person, but let's all have a little bit of self-awareness. Now, before we get into the bonus tip, and it's an experience that I've personally dealt with, leave a comment below of something that makes you not like somebody. We're not trying to be jerks here. We just need to clear the air because sometimes people don't realize what they do is off-putting. So in the comments, what puts you off with some people? While you're there, don't forget, subscribe, like, and now let's get into a little bit of a story. I worked with a guy, very smart fella, but he wanted to always argue. He could never be wrong. He would argue, he would raise his voice and think that if he talked louder, he might be right. The problem is that it always happened, and it always happened to his supervisor. Because we were union protected, the supervisor couldn't really just fire him because he was being rude, because obviously there's a long trail of things that have to happen. But this guy would just go off. And he ended up being on the health and safety committee because he voted himself on and nobody else wanted to do it. So the problem is, again, he's a smart guy. For health and safety, he had a lot of valid points. But it was his delivery and how he talked down to people and how he talked as if he was the only one that could be right, that immediately people just didn't listen to him. Out of spite, they didn't listen to him. If he had something regarding the health and safety, the supervisors and the company would go to the other health and safety rep to bring it to their attention, to have a conversation about it and get things fixed. So keep your tone and your attitude in check. You don't always have to be right. And just because you talk louder does not mean you're going to be right. Sometimes people feel that way. It's like, if I yell, eventually I'll be right. No, it won't. Enough about this guy. Let's head on over to this video. If you're new to management, you may want to consider checking out this playlist. I'm going to grab my coffee, and I'll see you there.